since we're in the book of Shemot, and in the six, at least the important six first portions of Shemot are actually a set or a ladder of coming into setting ourselves as a vessel, as consciousness that can actually serve the same paradigm that has been set from that which happened in Egypt, which is the Creator coming into history, coming into the perception on the ability of human to perceive inside the called vacant space. So it's a call to first witness how the power of, or the force of creation, the intention of creation, untying the ties of all the sparks that were fallen into the hold of kelipa, how it's been released from that captivity. And it is a part which is not conscious in us, but is being done. So in a way, when we will come to open it in reading, and what I'm saying in reading is in telling, it means that one can say that the narrative, as it is actually, it becomes telling it to ourselves, becomes precept, order of things, the order of things, or the order of becoming. So, bo, or come, is an opening of actually being able, and then it is the, I can say, the edict of what actually, how one should tell it, how one should enlighten it, or cause it to be, cause it to be through telling it first to ourselves. So in order to be able to tell it to ourselves, we have this point of Moses in ourselves. So maybe we need to extend. The point of Moses in ourselves is not only the sense of a clear leadership. It's a searching. It's searching for its identity. It's struggling with a belief in itself, and with a belief of the actuality of its happening. So it seems that we are all struggling to tell something, and inside telling it, acknowledge it as an event. Because everything in us, on one hand, tries to set it in ways that it has been described before, and therefore we feel the need for a new language. So it's as well freeing the ability to witness, or the vessel ability to witness an event of creator intervention in our consciousness, in our story, needs needs to free a new language. So it has been always a struggle from the beginning of the thought and the establishment of Israel as an independent entity. What actually will be better to bring an Esperanto language, meaning an international language, into the daily speech, or to revive the Hebrew? And actually, one of the prophecy, which I'm really deeply happy to see, is that if we will adopt Hebrew as our language, it will revolt and come and strike secularity, because it will not be able to stand the way we speak with sacred language, the way we speak the language of the will to receive to itself. Actually, this is one of the the concerns that Sholem expressed in his writing to Walter Benjamin, to do with of this revival of a language. And it seems that without actually believing, or without actually believing the power, or sensing the power of the language, of the Hebrew language, of the actual letters, and the setup as a congregation of bestowal and intervention, we're witnessing 70 years after the establishment of the State of Israel that the language is striking us. We're witnessing the revolt, the uprising of a language that cannot stand to serve value which has no meaning, or which has no relation or connection to the real meaning of creation, to the thought of creation. Therefore, this portion of Torah is actually speaking about that. So the sense of what happened and us coming into the study of it is crucial. So I would like actually to start with the first sentence of the portion, okay, and to have it in Hebrew and in English, as it was translated in King James Bible. So we are on Exodus 10, Shemot 10, that should be called. Okay. Translation actually is the whole difference between the languages. So in King James Bible, it is written, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I might show them my signs before him, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's sons, what things I've wrote in Egypt, and my signs which I have done among them, that you may know how, so you may know how, that I am the Lord. Okay. So, actually, and the Lord said to Moses, it's not go, it's, does not write or call go, it's called come. Come to Pharaoh. And come to Pharaoh, actually the Zohar will ask, why not go to Pharaoh? Why to use the word come to Pharaoh, which has in it two meanings. One is come with me, to actually be or visit this power, which is Pharaoh, which is the power to unveil or the power to reveal that which always has been hidden in that vacant space that I've created through Malchut, or through the will to receive, that you may have the freedom of choice. And that freedom of choice was used actually to enslave the consciousness, to enslave other people, and to enslave the sparks of light that are there. So we have to see that come has the echo of the name of the Creator, which is come and see. So it's the echo that starts the three highest plagues, or one can say strikes, of untying that high source or high root of the sparks, and the highest spark, the deepest fall, or the hardest enslavement it suffers. So actually it's come and see the last three strikes, which are the first head of klipot, of the power of kelipa over the sparks, which is usually bina, chokhmah, and and keter, or in our case, dat. So the invitation of that part of Moses, which is to do with as well the letter of let's say the commentary of his mother, or the commentary to his name, which is to draw out, or to draw out of the water, to draw out of the sea of light, to draw out of the sea of light, meaning this is actually the meaning of the name Moshe, but it has to do as well with the order of grace, of the true meaning of healing. The true meaning of healing is to take something which is out of its place, out of the way it should be from the beginning, from the thought of creation, and to restore it to its rightful place. To restore it to its rightful place is actually what is being done to our consciousness. So the accurate translation is not go, is come. It's come to Pharaoh, not only that I'm coming with you. Deeper than that is that I am there. And come to where I am. Come to where I'm hidden. Come to where I'm hidden it's the whole issue of the vacant space. Because we're saying that there's no place or there's no space without him. But in the space of our reality, we need to seek its presence, because it is hidden, or it has been covered and captured by klipot. So actually coming to the place that this is hidden is in a way the storyline or the meaning, or in the name of all that underlines our work, or all that underlines the work of Kabbalah. So if we are not coming there, into that place which is the pinnacle of our fears, not only of the world as it is, our fears of the Creator having no power to actually overcome the captivity of his vessels. So it's actually a show, a true deep show of our disbelief. So this is why it is connected to freeing the ability to tell the narrative, or which actually tell the narrative is what is being called so far till postmodernism is being called, to be able to tell the story of the myth, which is everything that we know to be true and unable yet to express it, unable yet to word it. And to word it is giving it the right combination of consciousness. So why actually the Creator need to give signs or letters? There's no letters in spirituality, because letters has to do with the corporal state of wanting, or being found wanted in relation to the light. So in order for them to exist, for the words to exist, it has to actually or go down or lift matter in such a way so it could be etched with a relation, or with a sense, with a sense of needing and wanting the light, not only as a service in terms of, which is very high, but in terms of the reality that need to be created through our telling, through our words. Okay. So actually it is said, and Havaya said, told, and Havaya told Moses, come to Pharaoh, for I've hardened. It's more to do, I've put more weight. I've put more weight in his heart. To put more weight in terms of Kabbalistic term, it has to do with the singularity of the value of presence. put more weight on his inquiry, on the value of his seeking. The question about Havaya weighs heavier on Pharaoh, because what he is actually asked, or what the kelipa, one can say, the highest part of kelipa, is actually being requested is to relinquish its hold and dominion and rule over the history of humankind, and to release it to a group of slaves that are awkwardly asking to enter history, not only to release themselves from slavery, but to enter history as the leaders of human evolution, of human conscious evolution. So it needs the release of that permission that was so far, which is why Moses is being told, come to Pharaoh. Come and witness the release. Yeah. So then, it is so you will be able to tell. Yeah. So, and only after you will be able to tell, then you will know. So telling, or what is called today the narrative, then it enables us to know. We would think that knowing will enable us to tell. But it seems that configuration of the spark being released, and it's actually through those letters and signs. Which signs? The signs of Ele, or the wisdom of being able to point to something that it is, for me, a reality. I witness it, I sense it as a presence, that which was hidden. Therefore, if I tell it myself consciously, I come to know it. So actually, this is a very strong, or one can say, crucial calling for that which is going to occur to Egypt as Israel witnessed it, apart from the last plague or the last strike, which is to do with the firstborn. No other plague or strikes Israel needed to prepare themselves for, to separate themselves as a preparation for its appearance. Only on this they had to actually circumcise themselves, those who did not yet. They had to slaughter the that animal part in themselves. They had to sort of sort out, which means eat in a certain way, something that so what is called unleavened bread, that has not actually blown up their will to receive to themselves. All those conditions are to actually separate them from the firstborn, because the firstborn is the issue. Whether the question is now whether the thought of Israel, let's say, a community of spirits that will choose to serve the thought of creation as as a screen, as an intention, as a dispensers of light, not as the purpose, but as the facilitator of the purpose of creation, was that determined or thought in the beginning? Was that really the way that has been chosen? So in terms of going into the beginning in this portion of Bo, which is to do, that starts with the same letter as Bereshit, but actually is joined with another letter, which is Aleph, which is to do with Anochi, with a revelation that will come later, after all those ties of the sparks of light will be released. It will be possible, or there will be a possible vessel that can actually acknowledge the word of Anochi, meaning the presence of the Creator in our world, in the vacant space, to reveal itself through the consciousness of at least a group of spirits that will represent the future of humanity. So Bo actually is taking the word of, or the letter that starts Bereshit, starts the beginning, okay, and add to it the possibility of the revelation, okay, which means if it starts with Bo is, if we actually set the letters in their order, is Av, and Av is the beginning or the root, the father, which is in let's say Kabbalistic term, the root and the reason and the cause of everything. So the telling to Moses is actually showing and calling into witness creation, to witness the purpose or the cause of creation. And the cause of creation, if we speak about creating, it's creating that which is concealed, meaning what we call creating dark, or the darkness part, yeah? Creating that night that from it humanity may perceive or draw out the light. Right? So the cause, which is the hiding, is to bring to light with our consciousness, with our spirit consciousness. It's not a general consciousness, it's a particular consciousness which is called spirit consciousness. It's calling us to go into the darkest places in the creation as a rescue team, as witnesses, so we can tell the narrative of human spirit as partners to the purpose of creation. So it's all in this, one can say, portion